Alright guys, video about Hanja for Korean learners. So I'm going to presume you know what they are if you click this video, but if not, they are these little Chinese symbols next to the words when you search a word in the dictionary. Not all words will have them, only the ones that are a loan word. So this is the original character, and then this is just the Korean um, pronunciation. This is the Korean pronunciation of the Chinese characters, which is why a lot of them are so similar, even though it's a completely different Hanja. So, when you're searching words, if a word means a similar thing, even though it might have different pronunciation, if it has at least one character, there is a chance that if it has the same meaning, it will have at least one shared Hanja. So, as learners, we don't need to memorize the characters themselves. We just need to know the meaning and the pronunciation, which are basically the same thing. So unless you plan on learning Chinese or Japanese after you've learnt Korean, there is literally no reason to learn any reading at all, except the few that you will come across often in other things, which I'll explain later. That you'll basically learn just from exposure to them. So, what can we do as Korean learners to learn the meanings more efficiently, quicker, and just even at all? So the first thing is, if a word has a similar meaning to a word that you already know, you just search both the words. So let's take for example ihe. So I come across another word and I'm like, oh, this has a really similar meaning. So say I search yanghe, and as you can see, it has a very similar uh, like sound. So yanghe, ihe. So and then, oh look, this hanja is the exact same one, and it also is a synonym. Ihe is a synonym of yanghe, or a similar word. So another thing you can do is go to hanja.app, and then it will show you all the similar words. If you can copy the hanja and move it, and copy and paste it in there. You just put it in the top, and then it will show you all the words that use that hanja. So uhe, misunderstanding, and ihe, an understanding. They just have one hanja difference, and then this hanja will have its own meaning, and this one is o, which means an error or a misunderstanding, or a mistake. So then all cha is like calculation, so that isn't a miscalculation. Uh, Osan is also a miscalculation from kesan, which means to calculate. So once you can do that, and then also what I would suggest is you want to do some deliberate study of the hanja just to boost your comprehension quicker. So you don't need to learn them, but what you can do is if you go to howtostudykorean.com, and then they have a free hanja units. Free is not completed at the time of recording, but he has been working on them, so you should go. But basically, it just gives you lessons, which give you 5 related hanja, which is quite good because not a lot of other places do that. I think this is probably the best place to learn them. So because these are so easy to write as well, there is a chance that you'll just easily learn them. But you just want the meaning. So you've got here kun de. So you know that this means de, and you already know words like de hakyo, which is university, and then you know 대통령, which is president, which just means big, and then you can figure out what 통영 means later on. There's a few words that you'll come across that are very similar, that use those words. So then you have 소, which means small, and then you have 중, which means middle or medium, and then you'll see these ones in restaurant menus. So you can go through all this. There's about 200 hanja, so I think this is one of the best free resources you've got for hanja. So then there is also this book by How to Talk to Me in Korean, but it's very expensive, and honestly, it's not much better than the How to Study Korean guide. There's only about 200 hanja in there, or maybe 250. but it's packed out of stuff that you don't really need. This part's interesting because it gives you all the words that are similar here, and then this part here gives you some sentences. But I didn't even read those. I went through. I didn't even touch this because we're not trying to remember. I didn't bother with this. So personally, I wouldn't recommend the book. I would just stick to the How to Study Korean. So if you want to take it further and you finish this and you're like, okay, I need more because you want more information, there is a book called 날로 먹는 Hanja or 날로 먹는 Hanja. Yeah, and there is 8 books and they cost £2.50 each, which is a lot less than this $27, $28, and there is almost 2,000, I think, in here, and it starts with the most basic. It starts with really simple Hanja, and it just goes down. It goes through them, just really simple ones. It even gives you a picture, a description. So this is really good as you start getting to higher levels and you want to learn more. And because there are some words where it's the only word, or there's like 2 or 3 words that are super rare that use this Hanja. So what you can do as well is, if you don't actually want to go through this, I have a Hanja deck which is made from this, and then you can say take one of the Hanja like this here from earlier, and you can put it in, and then we can see here that this is the page from that book, so we can see this, and then you can just use this as kind of like an encyclopedia, but it's like a lot smaller than just going through the books. But I do suggest going through the books because there's some that you'll see and it gives you the words at the bottom, and you'll already know the word, and then it'll give you another word, and then you'll be good to go. So where will you see the Hanja? So mainly it's going to be on the news and on signs. So when you're in Korea, you'll see signs with one second, let me hear it is. So you'll see signs with Hanja on them sometimes, just because they want to look fancy or something. I don't know. But so here we've got Mi, which stands for Miguk, and then Il, that's for Ilbon, and then Jung, which is for Junguk. So they replace a lot of the countries just to make it smaller. So they'll just use Mi, Il, Jung, and then you also have books. So if there's two really similar words near each other, or even Koreans won't understand what the word is supposed to be, they will just put the Hanja next to it, and then you can differentiate what the word is. And then also you'll see it on people's ID. But to be honest, that's about it. So you just want to deliberately expose yourself to the meanings, and then when you come across it, it'll make it a lot easier for you to draw conclusions as to which words are related. So that's about it. Thanks.